Amen. It's not just church, it's Wednesday, right? Ash Wednesday. But I want you to catch this. Throughout this conference, we're almost done with this conference last day, amen. But bring him your ashes. If you're lost today, you don't know Jesus, bring him your ashes. If you're a new believer, struggling with your past and letting go of your past, bring him your ashes. If you've been a faithful saint, carrying silent burdens, bring him your ashes. If you're a weary pastor who has spent years carrying everyone else's burdens, bring him your ashes. The God who saves us is the same God who continually restores us. Amen. And today we're going to discover that Jesus doesn't simply remove our pain. He exchanges it for something that only he could give. Amen. And by the end of this message, my prayer is this, that every one of us will leave this place lighter than we came in. Not because our circumstances change overnight, amen, but because we entrust our ashes to the one who makes all things new. Only God can make things new. But you're going to learn, you know what, God, I'm going to give you my ashes. Only you can turn this into something. Are you with me, church? I want to share on point one that God meets us in the ashes. God meets us in the ashes. Amen. And before God changes a person's circumstances, he often meets them in the middle of their brokenness. We love stories with happy endings, right? But God often begins his greatest work in the darkest chapters. If you ever wonder, where is God? If you ever ask, where is God in my life? Amen. Why am I hurting? Hello? The Bible answers the question again after again, that God is near. He is present. He is working even while we cannot see his hand. Amen. I want you to think about Job in the Bible. Job, he lost one thing after another, right? It felt he lost everything. He lost his children were gone. His wealth disappeared. His health failed him. Even his closest, those who are closest to him struggled to understand his pain. But the Bible describes him sitting among the ashes. Imagine the silence. Imagining, replaying every moment, every memory. Why? Where are my children? Why did this happen? Hello? Like some of you sit in your ashes of your past. You sit in the ashes of your addictions. Oh, I wish I could have done this, and why did I do that? And there's all these burnt houses in our past that you're sitting in those ashes of regret, of disappointment. Hello? And if we're honest, maybe your ashes don't look like Job's, right? Your ashes could come from a broken marriage that fell apart. Maybe they come from a child who has wandered from the Lord. Maybe they came from years of addictions, secret sin, betrayal, anxiety, depression, ministry disappointment. Ashes, they come in many names. But they all have one thing in common. They remind us that something precious has been lost. Amen. I don't know how it feels to lose a house with fire, to lose everything. I don't know how that feels. Some of you might have. Amen. And all that remains from a burning house or just ashes, right? And the enemy wants us to believe that our ashes, they disqualify us. But God whispers, amen. But the lie from the enemy, from the devil, is that God can't use you now. Hello? Look at your past. Look at your failures. But the gospel tells a different story, amen? God does not reject broken people. He draws near to them. Jesus never avoided people who were hurting. He walked towards people who were hurting. He made it his purpose to find people who were hurting. Even if it was one person, he would go search them. Like the woman by the well, he made his ways. He go, I'm going to meet you today. Hello? And today, God's doing the same thing. Jesus is going to meet you in your ashes. Are you with me? Jesus walks towards broken people. He touches the untouchable. He welcomes the outcasts. He forgives the guilty. He restores the fallen. Hello, that's the God we serve. If you never trusted Jesus, you just walked into the doors last week, don't wait until your life is together. Bring Jesus your ashes because he can turn things around. You heard testimonies. Every pastor was in that chair. Amen. Every pastor was an addict, struggling with ashes from the past, broken marriages. But they came. They heard about Jesus. Hello. They came and they brought their ashes to Jesus. And God turned them all around. Hello. If you're a new believer, you are saved. You're walking this journey. Hello. Don't believe the lie that your past is greater than God's grace. Don't believe the lie of because your past will haunt you. The devil will use it to discourage you. Hello? Bring him your ashes. Surrender. If you've been faithfully serving, you're a leader, you're a pastor, home director, and for years, your heart is weary. Because I know how ministry is. You carry a lot of loads. You carry the load of yourself, of your family, your kids, the home, the men, the